Welcome to the Media Bubble Podcast. It's the podcast that talks about all geeky media related topics. I'm Karol and he's Fredrik. Let's get this show on the road. Hi everyone. Today we are covering a very special topic, namely the zombie, vampire, people eating grotesque series called Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul, a series that I have been a fan of for a long while, and Karol read through it quite recently.
Yes, I've almost read through the entirety in like a week.
Yeah, but before I guess we talk freely about the series, I just thought that we would go through some basic information. So we are going to cover the two mangas Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re, which was created by Shu Ishida. And the Tokyo Ghoul original ran 144 chapters, and its sequel Tokyo Ghoul Re 179 chapters, and a total, and it ran, and both series ran at from 2011 to 2018.
So the latest Tokyo Ghoul chapter would have been released 5 years ago.
Yeah, I guess it. Oh, that's quite a longer than I had imagined, to be honest.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm thinking of explaining what is a ghoul. And ghouls they're kind of human-shaped monsters, you can say, or not really monsters, but that's how human looks at them in the beginning of the series. They eat human flesh, and the reason why they eat human flesh is because everything else for them is incredibly disgusting. And there's some similarities, or there's a lot of similarities to vampires with the ghouls. The only thing a ghoul actually can drink seems to be coffee. That seems to be the only thing that they aren't disgusted by. But yeah, they otherwise it's human meat. And next, I was thinking of just going through some of the characters just quickly, and these are characters that you're kind of meet in the beginning of the series. I didn't want to stray too far into the future, so I just took
I think
this.
you made a good decision here, since as the series goes on, it introduces a lot of characters, and it's kind of hard to remember all of them. I had to check the wiki more than on one occasion to just remember who everyone is.
Yeah, the Tokyo Ghoul also has that thing of introducing a character at one point, and then introducing them again a bit of a time later on. So it's quite hard to remember some of them.
But at least the ones you've picked right now are the ones that are most important, at least in the first part of the series.
Yeah, we have Ken Kaneki, who is a one-eyed ghoul, and then we have some other who, like his friend Hideshi, who is a human, and
yeah, and they're both classmates. They go to the same school, and they've been friends since forever.
Yeah, and Kaneki, he starts off as a human. He isn't a ghoul originally. That's why he's called a one-eyed ghoul. He's kind of half a human and half a ghoul.
And yeah, he's like the between worlds kind of situation there.
And then we have some when he turns into a ghoul, he gets a work for a ghoul in a cafe, which is owned by Yoshimura, who
is an older gentleman. He's like one of the oldest characters in the whole series.
Yeah, you can call him the wise old man.
Yeah, and he helps Kaneki come to the fact that he is a ghoul, and he helps stave off his hunger because, like Fredrik said, they cannot eat anything that normal humans would. So instead, he eats blood-soaked sugar cubes just for him to continue like living and not die of hunger.
Yeah, the people that also works on this specifically cafe, they also get meats from or human meat from a popular suicide spot in Tokyo, I guess.
Yeah. So, as you said, they eat human meats. They gotta get this meat from somewhere. But Yoshimura tries to, I don't know, instill like, not familiarity, but like compassion towards humans for to his coworkers.
Yeah,
Um, so he tries to kind of do it without actually like hurting anyone. Like because if somebody already off themselves, it's not hard to think like, yeah, well, he's already dead. Let's just continue living.
mm. Next we have Toka, who is 1 year younger than Kaneki, and so they go to different school in the beginning of the series. She is a ghoul.
Yeah, and she works at the cafe run by Yoshimura.
Yeah,
And she's also the one who like protects the turf of the cafe, um, since not all ghouls are kind. They are in fact very territorial. They're kind of monsters walking in human skin, and they have territories from where they feed.
yeah, they're kind of in. Yeah, they kind of just are like humans. There are some good ghouls and some bad ghouls.
Exactly, but
and
mostly bad.
some crazy ones too.
Yeah, which leads to the next character, Miss Rise Kamishiro. Uh,
Spoiler warning here: this character isn't around for a long in the series.
yeah, I think I mean, Rise is a frequent visitor to the cafe. She moved from another ward specifically to go to live in the 24th ward where everything is taking place. And Rise is kinda this manic, I will do whatever I want, I'm too powerful, it's like survival of the fittest kind of gal. And she is kind of the kickstart of this whole shebang, of this whole story.
Mm. She's also kind of the reason why Kaneki becomes a ghoul.
Yeah, because Kaneki gets caught up in an assassination plot to kill Rise. And since he was caught up in everything, he was badly injured, and some of the organs from Rise were transplanted into Ken, making him an one-eyed ghoul.
Let's see, and then Kotora Amon,
Yeah.
age 26. I was actually a bit surprised when I saw Rise's age. I thought she would be a bit older, but anyway. Let's see. Amon is a human who is, you can say, a police for ghouls.
He works for the CCG.
Yeah, he works for a company that is trying to hunt down ghouls and kill them.
Yeah. CCG, as Rick said, is also they're specifically trained. They're usually people who have lost their loved ones to ghouls or are extremely capable at eliminating ghouls because like they're not like police in normal manner. No, they kill ghouls like on sight.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hardcore in that way.
Oh, something I didn't mention when we were on ghouls when I think about it. Ghouls have these specific, what can you call them? Tails or
Weapons.
yeah, weapons kind of things that are specific to each ghoul. And the CCG also takes, when they kill a ghoul, they also take the weapon from the ghouls and use them to fight ghouls.
Yeah. Which is extremely morbid since they're using dead parts of once living ghouls and use them to defeat other ghouls. Like, when you look at this whole situation from a ghoul's perspective, it's like, yeah, they're just using body parts of our fallen comrades to fight us and kill us even more. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself because Amon is. I'm glad you actually picked him because he is like the foil to Ken.
Yeah, he is kind of, he gets connected with Ken Kaneki in the series because there are some points where the two of them they are in different worlds, but they can kind of understand each other in some way.
Yeah, I think. I mean, specifically, what comes to mind is the first scene when they meet. Amon is not like he kinda gets this connection with Ken once they started talking, when Toka is being assaulted by his superior, right?
Yeah,
Those are like the main players, the most important people in the story so
yeah.
far.
Especially in the beginning of the series, there are coming a lot of other people in that has importance, but yeah, these are kind of some of the most important people in the run. I can say, you can say
Yeah, and
these
also
are good to remember.
yeah, uh, also these are the first people you meet, so you will have the most grasp on them.
Mm.
Although this series has a penchant for introducing characters and, as you said, reintroducing them very later on. Like, you think that they won't be returning or that the author just forgot about them, and at that point, bam, they're back.
Yeah, kind of. There's a lot of examples of those actually.
Yeah, I can think of a few already.
Yeah. Okay. A quick mention on one thing. The series had an anime which released in 2014. Uh, I, w- I will say that the Tokyo Ghoul has had four different seasons, and three of them are bad. So, but I will admit that I really enjoyed the first season. I really think that is a good season of Tokyo Ghoul.
Can I admit to something?
Yeah, if you want to.
I have never seen the Tokyo Ghoul anime.
No, I didn't think you had, to be honest.
No, true actually. Uh, but did I miss anything important? Is there any
Well,
anime
if you
exclusive?
if you want, oh, there's some anime exclusive. The second season, like, did their own thing, and that didn't follow the manga. Uh,
But was that case only for the second season, or did they continue with just making an altered story in the later ones?
the thing with the Tokyo Ghoul anime is, as I said, the first anime is good. It follows the manga. It's excellent. It had good visuals. If you want to experience some of the earlier parts of Tokyo Ghoul, I would say see the first season, then go to the manga. Uh, the second season of Tokyo Ghoul strayed away in that they didn't follow the manga anymore, so that became quite weird when they did a third and fourth season, because in the third season they're kind of just ignoring what happened in the second season, and you just kind of pick up on where the manga left off.
Wait,
Uh,
what? That's so weird.
and Tokyo Ghoul anime also the Tokyo Ghoul Re was not really that good, and I haven't actually watched Tokyo Ghoul Re. I just watched one clip and I was like, no, not for me. Uh, and what I will say, the biggest problem with Tokyo Ghoul Re is that it had two seasons and in total 26 episodes, and 26 episode for a manga which was
Even
uh,
longer than the first series.
yeah, it was like 177
Four.
chapters, something like that. That
Yeah.
just doesn't fit into 26 episode that smoothly.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, because when I started reading Tokyo Ghoul Re, I noticed that you have to pay attention a lot more than the first series. At least that's what it felt for me. Um, so it took me a lot longer to read it. So yeah, I cannot imagine them putting everything in only 26 episodes.
Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul is almost feels like you also need to backtrack a lot.
Yeah.
Like what? Like there are some parts where maybe I should go back and just check on that again. But for now, I'm just thinking of we're doing a spoiler warning here, and I'm just kind of thinking of let's just talk freely about this series that we both enjoyed. I guess like I have read this series for a long time. I picked up a little bit on it recently because of this episode, but Karol here has read it quite recently. And what are your impressions of it?
First impressions. I'm kind of sad I didn't pick it up earlier. I'm having boatloads of fun just reading about it, and it's interesting. I'm not bored. I just want to see what happens next.
Yeah. One thing that I kind of feel with Tokyo Ghoul is that if or that I thought about recently is that if you're thinking that Tokyo Ghoul will go in some kind of in one certain direction, then I feel like you're kind of wrong, because I feel like this series is kind of unexpected in what actually is going to happen next in the series.
Yeah, because none of the predictions I had panned out.
Yeah, like when you're finished with Tokyo Ghoul, the first, I feel like there's some expectations you have of how the story will continue in its sequel, and it does not really do what I expected it to do.
No, not me neither. Okay, so again, spoiler warning. But throughout Tokyo Ghoul, there is this fight between the Ghouls and the CCG, and at the end of the first run, Ken Kaneki dies. Well, dies in quotations. Um, he basically meets this super uber powerful dude named what's his face?
I know his face. I have it as a picture on here.
Kisho Arima.
Yeah.
And basically, he is the superstar of the Ghoul Police. As they fight, Ken loses pretty horribly, and we have a manga panel when he's like without any limbs, just spouting, crying, no eyes, and it's kind of set up and as he would be killed, and everyone thinks he's killed, and you think, okay, when there's still Tokyo Re, what is gonna happen? He joins the CCG.
Yeah, Ken Kaneki for a while joins the CCG, and or in some way Ken Kaneki doesn't. It's his alter ego Hisei that joins the CCG.
Yeah, it's like his way of trying, because throughout the original run, he gets so traumatized by everything he goes through, he needs to like cut off from that part of himself just to function again in society.
Yeah, if I'm going to, Ken Kaneki is kind of a tragic character in many ways, because there just happens shit to him every time that just makes him have mental breakdowns every so often. Like if you're going to read Tokyo Ghoul, expect for Ken Kaneki to have multiple
Bad times.
Yeah, breakdowns.
But when now you say it, but I think he's not the character that suffered. Well, he is. Although there are also the other characters who suffered quite a lot.
Well, there's a lot of character that suffers.
But continuing off, when the sequel began and he joins the CCG, because in a lot of ways it kinda like wipes almost the slate clean, because you expect the other characters to still play a role. Like after he dies, there's a lot of like Tuka, the gang at the cafe, like Hideyoshi. What is he gonna do? All of Ken's followers. Like what's up with the clowns? There's apparently clowns. And we don't see that once we go into the second run. Or at least in the beginning. It takes time to go back to the rhythm.
Yeah, it's like that whole part when he joins the CCG. It feels so weird compared to the rest of the series in some way, because there it's kind of like, yeah, here's a bunch of new people, and some of the people that worked on the CCG are that you followed in the original run are gone, and yeah, there's just a lot of new, I guess you can say.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, we don't even get that much screen time with the old characters. Because
No,
once...
that rarely happened in that part.
Yeah, because, for example, when we go to the CCG, we get more time with Kisho Arima and, like, Ken's new pupils, the Kinkies, right?
Yeah, those guys.
But, like, Akira Mado, like the scientist's daughter, she's still here. She's just like really off the screen a lot of the time.
Yeah, she is one of the few characters that actually you see some from time to time. There's also that character who with
Yuzu.
white hair that has like scars on his face.
No, they weren't scars. I actually got them. Because Yuzu, he uses like stitching. It's like stitches, right?
Yeah, I guess I just kind of tried to describe how he looked.
And I looked it up online that real people do this.
That doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
No, I'm not either. um, Actually, speaking about Yuzu, what did you think about his character?
Well, he was an interesting character in the way that, as I said, the series doesn't go really as you would think sometimes. Because first you just see him as some kind of crazy killer, and then he has this backstory which makes you kind of feel for him a tiny bit.
But it like reinforces that he's also a crazy killer.
Yeah, and then I felt like he didn't go really somewhere after that. Like he's in the series, but I have some trouble remembering certain things, but does there happen some more development for him?
Yeah, okay. So during like the final chapters of the first book of the first series.
Yeah, no, that I know of.
So yeah, you remember like Yuzu, he was being taken care of by this guy. What was his name?
Yeah, the
Yukinori, the guy, the older guy.
We're not really good at remembering name. We're good at remembering characters.
Exactly. So he started fighting with the one-eyed owl, which is like just a monster. We didn't know that Ghouls could do that. It was just like an uber monster. Because there was this big fight trying to get rid of the restaurant, because they figure out, hey, there's Ghouls at this restaurant. We need to kill it ASAP. So a big fight breaks out, and we have Yoshimura, which is the restaurant's owner. He has a daughter, and his daughter is an absolute monster. And spoilers, and she comes to rescue her dad, and also kills Yuzu's father figure, which is Yukinori.
In some ways, she rescues her dad, yeah, but she isn't. She uses her dad for her own purpose, you can say.
Yeah, she's fucked up.
Okay, if we're going to talk about her for a moment, there's one-eyed owl, I think that was what she was called, right?
Yeah, she's called Eto.
Yeah, and she is the daughter of the restaurant or the cafe owner, as we said, and the special thing about her is she is a one-eyed ghoul as Kaneki, because she was born from both a ghoul and a human, which was kind of thought to be impossible for the ghouls, but apparently she outlived the odds, I guess.
Yeah, it was kind of hinted at that her mom ate human meat just so that she could have like nutrients to develop.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was very hinted on. And there happen some things later on in the series which is a bit reminiscent of that.
Yeah. But Edo is kind of the person running because she is kind of starting this Ghoul uprising against the CCG and against society. She wants to scramble it up and just create like she just wants to destroy everything and maybe create something new, like a world for ghouls.
Yeah, when you here's one of the unexpected things about Tokyo Ghoul, I feel like, because when you are finished with the original run, you're kind of very clear in the head of, oh, is this the main villain of the story? And then when you read Tokyo Ghoul Re, like the Eto kind of
She becomes the main bad guy, but doesn't really because she entrusts the whole like the Rose organization to Ken.
yeah, she apparently in the past she and what was his name now, Karol?
Arima? Kisho Arima?
Yeah. She and Erma apparently made a plan to take Kaneki, who they felt had potential, and to take him in and make him into a ghoul that would be able to kill
The CCG.
to kill Noah Arimishima.
Can I say because it along with that because like you wonder okay why does the leader of the Ghoul faction join up with the brilliant boy of the CCG, and guess what, the brilliant boy of the CCG is also a ghoul, but
Yeah,
not
in some ways he was.
yeah, but not exactly because he has like enhanced abilities, but he doesn't need to eat meat, but he's like a clone and he dies faster.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about what exactly he is, but he has some ghoul in him.
And I think because I mean he dies.
Mm.
Kisho Arima dies. And
Yeah.
I think the author maybe realized that having such a powerful character being on the side of CCG kind of makes the whole revolution moot.
Yeah, because his death, that kind of was the starting point of a revolution for the ghouls, which is led by Kaneki when he returns to the ghouls.
Who's your favorite character?
Probably Ken Kaneki, because as we kind of said before, characters in the series a lot of time comes in and out of the series. Ken Kaneki is the kind of only character that stays.
True, actually true. But can I suggest actually Uri, Cookie Uri?
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Because he was giving me similar vibes to Mado's daughter. So basically, he was this arrogant, I'll do anything to climb the ranks of the CCG kind of guy, even if it means I'll sabotage my own team, just that I can get more achievements and get out on top.
Why are you such a fan of that character, Karol?
Because with the run of Ri, he starts to change. I liked how he changed. He stops being such a whiny ass who trains for himself, who doesn't hang out with other people, to actually starts caring about other people, and
there also happens that one of the cadets dies also, and that has a very big impact on him too.
Yeah, because because Uri was really jealous of not being the squad leader, but the cadet that died, well, they were like everyone lived together. They were friends on the off time. They ate together, they slept together, they lived together, which I think is really cool because it's all because of Ken. Because in the CCG, there's this culture of how do you say it? Of acceptable loss, like
Yeah,
that your life isn't really worth anything. But thanks because Ken really wanted all of them to live together and work as a
yeah.
team, it made them stronger together
I
and better
guess
people.
I guess that's why Ken Kaneki is the perfect leader because he truly cares for people. I guess.
Yeah, because he didn't want the Kinkies to end up as weapons. He wanted to end up like he wanted to make them good people.
Yeah, after Eto and his mentor has died through like halfway through Tokyo Ghoul, uh, Ken Kaneki also returns to the ghouls and to Toka and all the older characters to be their leader and to search for a way for humans and ghouls to coexist, I guess you can say.
I mean, it kind of changes later with the series too, where he says like, "Yeah, I actually maybe, but for the most part, I care about the people I have with me."
Yeah, that too. Uh, one thing that also happens is his love interest with Toka, which uh, I guess in the series goes a bit up and down. Like they're very close to each other in the beginning of the series. Then in Tokyo Ghoul, Ken kind of leaves the cafe and he doesn't want Toka to come with him, so they get separated for a while. And then when uh, Ken gets this new personality, he apparently visits the new cafe that Toka owns, and he kind of apparently gives her looks that makes Toka think of the way Ken used to look at the Risa.
Yeah.
And as I said before, that the series doesn't really go as you expect sometimes, because when they are finally reunited, Toka is like right away, hey, do do you want to fuck?
Well, not wait. You're skipping over a bit.
Or
Before they do the dirty, they
no,
actually once
I didn't mean it that way. I mean that she's very clearly um, know what her feelings is, and she wants to go on them.
okay, that with I agree. Because it kind of ties to what I wanted to say, which is like,
I just tried to find a quick word.
what the fuck? But shit, I mean, it still makes sense. It.
There happens some things in the series that makes that line make sense. Trust me.
I mean, we can talk about it. I can just put this on explicit, which I think we'll have to do anyway. So, because we'll have to go back a little bit, because as Ken is in the CCG, the problem is he doesn't want to he doesn't want to remember, or he can't remember the life before the CCG, and everyone else from the previous run doesn't want to involve Kaneki in the Ghoul world. They want him to be happy with the CCG. That's why they don't act and try to make him remember. But once he remembers and frees everyone from the jail, he goes back to the cafe, and Toka finally just slaps the shit out of him.
And says, "Oh, that felt good."
Yeah, because it felt so good. Like he's finally back, and she can just freaking punch him for all the like she had to stay away and like give him way of life, and she had feelings, but he didn't know. So just like, bam, on the table. Good for you, Toka.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah. Also, there.
And also they have graphic.
There's a chapter in this series that's literally, you can say, hentai in some way.
Yeah,
Like it's drawn like something more beautiful. but yeah, that's kind of what it is in some way.
Yeah, in a way, my jaw dropped when I read it.
Mm.
Because, as you said, you don't know what to expect from this series, and it's just like, okay, I guess we're not doing like a tasteful fade to black. We're actually seeing it, just like, whoa.
Like the thing that surprised me the most was that went on for the whole chapter. There wasn't like just 2 pages and we're moving on with the stories. No, that was the whole chapter. And actually, this series tries a lot of often to be beautiful in not just its art, but or the art of the series, but also in the way it's
presented.
It's presented. You can say.
And also, like, because as you said, it went for a full chapter, but it wasn't like raunchy, horny, silly. It was like they kind of love each other.
Yeah, as I said, it was kind of drawn as something beautiful. And one reason why I also wanted to bring that up is because that also leads to something which we talked about a bit before, and that is that Toka gets pregnant.
Yeah.
And because she is a ghoul and Ken is technically still half a human, she apparently needs to eat human meat, which is extremely hard for a ghoul.
No. You said human meat.
Food.
Human food. Which is also kind of a callback to her friendship with one of her classmates. That she has to force herself to eat like literal trash because she cares for someone so much.
Yeah.
Also, I like going back to flashbacks once because Toka has a friend in the first chapters that she really likes, and I did not expect her to come back.
No, she returns in some way in the series, yeah.
Yeah, like she gets married to what's his face?
To someone in the CCG.
Yeah, Takeomi Kurokawa. So he's the son to the old guy from who worked together with the father figure to Yuzu.
Mm.
He's the one that looks like a Daruma doll.
I feel like we're a little bit over
over everywhere.
A little bit in all the places at the same time, but I guess that kind of what Tokyo Ghoul is in some way.
Yeah,
like it's a series who is famous for to be kind of really edgy, and in some way it is edgy, but it doesn't go fully into that edgy line for it to
become cringy.
Yeah, it kind of balances that line between edgy or let's see, artful,
beautiful, but also silly.
Yeah, silly and heartwarming, you can say.
Yeah.
And heartbreaking in some ways too.
Because, like, as you said,
like every character that is introduced in this series goes to some major shit. Like pretty much everyone.
But I feel like, yes, that's true. But it also takes time to humanize them.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to just throw a character into a blender of tragedy and say, now I'm a hardened badass. But even when that happened to Ken, we still had time to, like, explore his, well, human side. Which made it so good. And also, I actually added a slide on my own. I think you saw it.
Yeah, I have seen it. Can I just mention something? There's I guess this might be a little bit of spoilers for you. I'm not sure if you have gotten this far, but I also really enjoy just the friendship Ken Kaneki has with his human friend. What was his name now?
Check the slide. His name is Hideyoshi.
Hideyoshi. that friendship starts in a fun way with the two of them really like each other. They have a bit of different personality. Ken is kind of a bit more quiet, and his friend is a little bit more outspoken in the beginning of the series. So kind of like you and me when I think about it. But anyway, but anyway, that friendship goes because Ken becomes a ghoul. He is like, I can't really be with my friend anymore, but I don't know, that friendship just evolves in a unique and I guess beautiful way.
I mean, you said that it was a little bit of a spoiler, but I already spoiled myself. Uh, as I mentioned before, I had to use some of the wiki to see like who's who, and I also said that sometimes you wonder, well, when is this character gonna come back? And I checked what happens with his friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've just checked, like, yeah, this is the one I've been thinking of. Oh, he's this guy.
Okay. I also guess we can mention, or wait, you have a picture of him in the next slide. Let's go to the next slide.
Yeah.
So, what exactly have you brought for me here, Karol?
Yes, so I wanted to mention, because this series, being so edgy, emotional, and beautiful, it's also really fun to read.
Yeah.
Like, it's silly.
Like the main villain of this whole series, which for a long time we don't even know is the main villain, is a clown.
Yes, he's a clown. Like, I read on the wiki before starting being like, yeah, the clown purge, or the clown. Wait, what's the event called? Something clowns. I'm just like, okay, is this gonna be serious? And then it became serious because the main bad guy, all of his plans are finalized. He has like almost complete control over the CCG, and he comes out to like a grieving full place of soldiers in a fancy glasses that spell party and fake mustache.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this man gives no fucks. He just does whatever he wants. He has like respect.
Yeah, the main villain is also kind of surprising. As I said, when you are finished with Tokyo Ghoul, you have some expectation of what the villains are for that series. But the other villains I guess the final villain has already been introduced. But you don't really think of him as that serious. Yeah.
Because he's not. Like, he is dangerous. He's intelligent. But also, as he says, like, it's his life, so let's make it a good one. And just decides to fuck up everything, the whole system, just so he can be in power. And it's like, yeah, party, dude.
He also is the one that weirdly makes Ken to a ghoul, because he is the one that kills Risa in an accident that Ken is brought up or affected by. Ken actually also asks him why me, and he just kind of just laughs at him and says something like, why you? I had no idea why you're not special in that way. You were just there.
It's so good. Like, I love it. Just like, yeah, pure chance. I did not count on you. You were not supposed to be here, dude.
Yeah, this was a surprise for me too that you're here.
And also, I picked actually, what's her name? Mado's daughter. I always said it. Think of her like that. Akira Mado. Like, I really like, just as Yuri was my favorite character in the sequel series. She was my favorite character in the first one.
Yeah.
Because
I can understand that.
Because she's so smug and so like she is smart, and she's a smartass. She will try to talk you down, and she would just talk bullshit to you just so she can manipulate you. But she's also inexperienced, and she's not battle tested. And as the series goes on, she begins to lose that overconfident smirk and actually becomes like a more like, how do you say it, like a more competent member of the team. And she also loses that, like, that viciousness about her.
Yeah, she also has a connection with Amon, which I see you have here with a cat.
Yeah, because he rescues her cat when they meet again.
Yeah,
Like he
later
remembered.
on meets up in the series again, and kind of they are reintroduced and kind of moves on with their lives, you can say.
Yeah, because I mean, she was so distraught because before the final battle, everyone thought that Ammon was dead. So she believed that too, and she was just destroyed. But he comes back, and he also allows her to kiss him again at the graveyard. And we don't even see it. It's just like, just don't dodge this one. Just don't turn away this time. And it
Yeah,
was so cute.
you kind of just see her feet going up a bit.
Yeah, and it's like, hell yeah, woo.
I gotta say that Amon had. I thought Amon would have a bigger role in the story's second part than I guess what he did. Like in the first series, you really feel like, oh, he's the human eyes of the series who is going to kind of change. And as I said, with some ways how the series goes, not as you expect. He doesn't really go in that direction, I guess, in some way.
I mean, it also kind of makes sense when you think about it. Since we have already Ken at the CCG, he's the human eyes. So Amon becomes a little bit pointless. But it also makes him good because you think he's dead, and then you have a reveal that he's actually alive, and he was thrust in the same position as Ken was in the first series.
Let's see. You have another picture here. Stick your fucking flower in your skull for all I care. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's, as I said, the series is funny to read. And this is actually a picture of. Let me see the name.
Yeah, I think I know who this is.
Shu Tsukiyama.
Yeah. Him.
Master Shu. He's the gourmet.
Remember when I said that there are some crazy ghouls? He's one of the first you meet.
Yeah, he's the one that kidnaps a human lover to one of Kaneki's friends.
Like he has some weird progression also in the series, because he starts out being a real threat and a villain to the main characters, who just kind of later on is just like follows them all everywhere and becomes an ally who they kind of trust.
But not really. And then he, like, I picked him specifically because it's so cool. I'm not saying, like, this progression could be tropey as hell. Because we have characters in anime and manga who are just extravagant and say, "Ooh, well, I will follow you because you're the only one that can best me." Or be sick and twisted, but don't change throughout the series. But he does. Like, he becomes extremely depressed once Ken dies. Or is presumed dead. And he begins to understand that he didn't only hang out with him during the first run because he had, like, excellent meat and he wanted to eat them. No, he begins to self-reflect and understand that he enjoyed being part of a friend group of people who just coexist and are kind to each other.
Yeah.
And
I'm also starting to think of the one character that also makes masks now too. like you know the kind of emo guy that always kind of has black eyes.
You mean Uta?
Yeah, maybe I mean him.
Yeah. So yeah, the mask guy.
Yeah.
But
I kind of just started to remember him now.
Also,
That didn't lead to anywhere. I'm probably going to cut that out. Because
that was a little bit dry.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like it was like, oh, I remember that character. Well, what do I have to say about him?
I mean, I have something to say about him. He's a clown. I did not predict that. He'd be a freaking clown.
Yeah, he is part of the final battle for the villain side, and it's kind of like, I did not see this coming.
No, me neither. I've like, okay, like he's this like as you said, I did not expect it. And also, just the clowns, they're just here to be silly and see people suffer.
If I'm being honest, the reason why I brought the guy up is because he was a clown, and then I started to think, does Karol know that he's a clown yet?
Yeah, he's been revealed at the ending of the first run, I think.
Yeah, I guess that.
Also, I just wanted, because I picked this clown here specifically. I love that the CCG was at the beginning like, oh, we never met a homosexual ghoul. And just chapters before, this man is very homosexual. Like, I love him. He's such a mess.
Yeah, as we said, there's a lot of characters in this.
And also, like, a lot of, we had a first trans character introduced in the second series.
Like these are really weird final villains when you think about it.
Yeah.
Especially from what we had before. Because
when you're going into Re, you expect it to be the One-Eyed King, but it's not. It's the CCG being like under new management.
Yeah, that's kind of how they trick you, because I guess just experience from how you read other media just makes you expect that, oh, they have introduced this final villain of the story in the one-eyed owl, and so you're so focused on that is the main villain that you kind of just or ignoring these clowns, like, no, they can't be that serious.
Can I also mention, talking about one-eyed owl, I liked that they introduced her way before you understood that she was the one-eyed owl. Because she's the writer for the books, right?
Yeah, she's the writer for the books that Ken Kaneki enjoys. I think he even mentioned her name in like some of the earlier chapters.
Yeah, and I think it was just so like there's rarely a one-dimensional character in Tokyo Ghoul, because even though she's leading this rebellion against humanity, she's also a writer. She has like an editor. The editor figured out she was a ghoul, but they live in this relationship where he supports her anyway. So she still has she has humanity. She's not just like, I hate humans for what they did. She had a loving mother. It's cool. This is a series where you can think about characters and their motivations, and they're clear.
Yeah. Amon, for an example, his adoptive father was a ghoul, and that makes him have some weird feelings about the ghouls, I guess you can say.
Yeah, this is the reason for why he hesitated to kill Kaneki when they met, isn't it?
Yeah, in some ways, yeah, yes. But he also kind of hates his foster father in the beginning of the series.
Do you think that his father, his adoptive father, actually loved him?
In some ways, yes, and
in some ways, no.
I would say that he loved him, but he is still a ghoul and still believes in the ghoul's way. That kind of makes it a bit of he loved him in some way, but he is still like ghouls are the priority for him. Yeah, I guess
he's still a monster at the end of the day.
Actually, one thing that surprised me very much in the series is when Did you feel that the one-eyed old died too early in the series? Because I still felt like when she died, I was still like, are we going to get more details on her? Like she felt like such an important character.
No.
Did you feel that she died too early?
I think the argument can be made, but I felt like it was quite alright for her to die because she sacrificed herself to save the ghouls and save Ken at the jail.
Yeah, I guess she didn't have more to do.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I guess we have rambled on Tokyo Ghoul for quite a while now.
Yeah, but I enjoyed every minute of it. It was fun.
I'm not really sure if there was if
Did we do a good job? Did we tell much about the story?
Like we were kind of all over the place, and the most that we talked about, I guess, were the characters. I guess.
Yeah. Not that I think about it. But I feel like, listeners, if anything, this is just a proof of how good the series is. Give it a go.
I guess you can hear how much we enjoyed it.
Yeah, like definitely. I still have to read the ending.
This is a really fun ride, to be honest.
But I think it's time for us to thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we have. Don't forget to follow, hit that bell icon, or follow us on socials like Twitter, YouTube, or Tumblr. Also, big thanks to Jahzzar for intro and outro comedy. See you again in the next episode and have a wonderful day.